Welcome, amazing one, and let's solve this beautiful geometry problem together. We are given an equilateral triangle that measures 10 units, and inscribed are two identical circles such that they both touch each other at this point and also touch the size of the triangle. And the question is asking us to find the area of the two circles. Now, what do? It's just so easy, relax. Let me take you through that step by step. Now, for us to find the area of the two circles, we know that for area of a circle, it's always pi r squared. And because the two circles are identical, automatically they will share the same area. So for us to find the area of the two, is going to be 2 times the area of 1. This is what we want to do. But the question is, do we know the radius of this circle? Do we know the radius? You know, they will both share the same radius. Don't worry. Let me show you how to get the radius. Now, remember that this is the center of the circle, and this is the center of this circle. And you know too well that the line from the center touching any part of the circumference is the radius. Now, when you have this kind of question, always target the intersecting points. Now, for that, we are going to have our radius. Remember that if this is the center, then we can have it that the line from here, I'm targeting this intersecting point. So I can join my line to this point. So let's do that. So from here to here gives me my radius. So this is my radius, and this is measured r. I can also get my radius from this center to touch this point. And this is what I have. Now remember that this line forms a straight line, because you notice that whenever, just remember this theorem, whenever you have a circle, two circles that are joined together, we say that this is the point of tangency. And if this is the center of this circle and this is the center of this, we say that these 3 lines, these 3 points form a collinear. These 3 points are collinear. They form a straight line according to your tangency theorem. So if this is true, it means that this line is a straight line. Now, what do you do next? Remember that from here to here also gives you the radius of the circle. You can also extend it to touch this point. So we're going to also extend it. It's also going to give us a straight line, because this line is also tangent at this point. So let's join this. So if you do that, this is what you have. Now, what do we do? Remember that from here to here is also the radius. So what do you think we should do? We can extend this line to touch the vertex of this triangle. So let's do it to have. Now, the question is, do we know from here to this end? No. So let's label this end. From here to here, let's say it is M. Now, if this is true, also remember this theorem. For each time you have a circle and there is a line, we say that this is the line, the tangent line, and this is the point of tangency. Whenever a line from the center touches this point, it's always perpendicular. It makes a right angle at this point. Now, if you go through this, remember we said this is the line of tangent, and this is the point of tangency. Automatically, from here to here, we said is the radius. So it means that this has formed a right angle, obeying this tangent and radius theorem. We call this the tangent and radius theorem. So what do we do next? You observe that we can easily bring out this shape. You see that this has formed a right angle triangle. So let's bring it out to have. This is what we have. This right angle here, and the total length here is given as r plus r plus r, which is 3r plus m. So we have 3r plus m. Then this length here measures 10 units. But this is not enough for us to calculate the radius. Let's go back to the triangle. You observe that this is an equilateral. The 3 sides are equal. And for every equilateral triangle, we say that each of the angles measures 60 degrees. So if this is true, it means that This angle here is 60 degrees. This one here is also 60, and the angle formed here is 60. So we have this angle to be measured 60 degrees. What other information do we need to know? We need to get this m so that we can work with one variable and then get the value of r. Let's go back to the diagram. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for always choosing to learn through us. And if you love what you do, don't forget to give us thumbs up. If you are still new, why not subscribe for the more tips you will get? Make sure notification bell is on because you get updates from us every day. Thank you, and let's keep doing this to have. Observe that you can also get another radius from this center to touch this point. This line automatically becomes the tangent line to the circle. So let's get it down. Let's drop this down to touch that point. And at this point, remember we said it makes angle 90 at this. And if the whole of this angle is 60, do we know this particular angle? Can we find it? Yes. Go back again. You can also trace this to touch this. This is also the radius of the circle as well as this. Now remember this theorem. Each time you have a circle drawn, this the tangent line. We said that these two tangent lines that meet at a point are equal to each other. And if this is the center of the circle, the line from this center and this, remember, these are the radius or the radii of the circle, and they are all equal. So obeying this, we have it that the line from here bisects the angle formed at this vertex. It means that if angle is alpha, this one here is also alpha. The two angles are the same. And what does it mean? Remember we said that the total angle here is 60 degrees because this is an equilateral triangle. If this is true, it means that we can find this tiny angle here. And what will it be? It's just for us to divide 60 by 2, obeying this theorem. And that gives you 30 degrees. So the angle formed here is 30 degrees. If this angle is 30, and this is, you observe that this has formed a right angle triangle. So if you bring out this shape, it's just for us to easily find this m and then replace it with what we have here. So let's bring out this smaller right angle triangle. To do that, we have, remember we left this, we are coming back to this diagram. So let's bring this out. Here measures 30 degrees. It's right angles here. This length measures r and this measures m. So what do? You're working with the size and angle of a right angle triangle. Use your trig ratio. In that case, we are having it for a trig ratio, we have so-called 2r. Now, which of these are we going to apply here? This is the longest side, the side opposite to this right angle. And this longest side is the hypotenuse. The side opposite to where the angle is formed is the opposite side. Now, looking at this, you see that we are working with opposite and the hypotenuse. So which of these has that information? It is sine. So we are going to make use of our sine. To do that, we have sine of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite side, which is r, divided by the hypotenuse, which is m. Now, let's work this out. This is going to give us, remember that sine 30 is 1/2, is equal to r over m. Quickly cross multiply this, and this gives us, this times this gives us m, and 2 times r gives us 2r. So it means that our m is given as 2r. Now what do? Let's go back here and replace this m with what we have here so that we can find the radius and then find the area of the circles. Let's do that together. Our m is equal to 2r. So let's replace it in this diagram. And this is going to give us, so we rewrite this. Let's bring this up here to have this diagram. So we have 3r plus our m is 2r. And when you add this, it gives you 5r. So we have 5r here. So this gives us 5r. And this angle measures 60 degrees. Right angles here. This length is 10. What do? Still use your trig ratio. Remember that this side is the hypotenuse. The side opposite to angle is the opposite side. And when you work with opposite and hypotenuse, use your sine. So we are going to have sine of this angle 60 is equal to the opposite, which is 5r, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 10. Now we have it also that sine 60, you know, is root 3 divided by 2, which is equal to 5r divided by 10. And what do we do? Quickly cross multiply. And this gives us, this times this gives us 10 root r is equal to, multiply this, it gives us 10r. Our target is to get r. Divide both sides by 10, divide this by 10. This cancels, this cancels. And what did you observe? You see that our r is given as root 3. Now that we have found the radius, let's now find the area of the two circles. To do that, we have the area of the two circles will be 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius, which is root 3, then you square it. So if you simplify this, we have 2 pi, this we cancel this, we are left with 3. So the area of the two circles will be, this times this will give us 6 pi. And this gives us the area in square units. This is left in terms of pi. You can also leave it in decimal. Just kill this in the calculator. And this gives us area is approximately 18.85 squared units. So we can take this or this. So we also have this. So these are the two areas. Either this or this is acceptable. And I hope you really learned something. Don't forget to tell us how much. Like, share. I'll also be curious to see your own methods. Thank you for always choosing to lecture us. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.